Today we're going to talk about the German sixth, the last of the basic augmented sixth chords. Now, there are lots of augmented sixth chords, and the only reason we name certain chords is that they're used over and over and over again. And if a composer takes a new way to use the augmented sixth and uses it again and again, and some people imitate it, it'll get a new name. There's a Sydney sixth now. There's a bunch of them. You can go onto Wikipedia and see all these chords. Very surprising. But in the Baroque era, in the classical era, in the Romantic era, there were three chords that really dominated augmented sixth chords. They were used a lot, and the names were common even back then. And the German sixth is the third of those. There's the Italian, the French, and the German sixth. So the German sixth, like all the others, we can look at it a couple ways. We know the Italian sixth is just a four chord borrowed from the minor going to five. Well, you can have a four chord, or you can have a 4-7 chord. And in the 4-7, we have to flat the seventh too. We borrow from the minor. We don't like minor chords with major sevenths. So remember, in the major, it's F, A, C, E. But we borrow from the minor, F, A flat, C, E flat. Put it in first inversion, just like we would do with the Italian sixth, and we get a German sixth. The German sixth is the Italian sixth, you see, A flat, C, and F in the key of C, plus a perfect fifth over the bass note. So, a French sixth had a tritone. The German sixth has a perfect fifth. So you can either see it as a 4-7 chord, inverted, and then we sharp that top note. I forgot to put the sharp in. Sorry. Or we could just think of it as an Italian sixth chord with a perfect fifth over the bass. Either one works. But the trouble with this one is that the resolution is weird. We know the A flat wants to go down to the G. The flat six wants to go to the dominant. We know that the F sharp in this key, that note wants to go up to the dominant. But the trouble is that fifth also wants to go down. And when you do that, you get parallel fifths. I mean, that's basically that whole idea of the flat six going down. So how do we handle that parallel fifths? Well, what we do is we delay the resolution of the top two notes. So the A flat goes down first. So that's the flat six goes down first. And it leaves you with this chord right here. And that chord is a 1-6-4 in minor. I made it with capital Roman numeral. That's a mistake. It's in minor. But that's a 1-6-4 chord. 1-6-4 has a 4 in it. It's dissonant. It has to resolve. So that 4 wants to drop to the 3. 1-6-4 goes to a 5 chord. This is a standard cadence formula. The 1-6-4 chord goes to the 5, and then the 5 goes to the 1. So now we've got a German sixth that goes to the 1-6-4, so that the A flat goes to the G before the E flat does, to avoid parallel fifths. The 1-6-4 then wants to go to a 5 chord. 5 chord goes to the 1 chord. So it's a little more complicated in its resolution, but it's not any more complicated in its concept. Italian sixth chord with a perfect fifth over the bass added, or a borrowed 4-7 chord in first inversion with the top note sharped. Either way you think of it, it's going to go to a 5. This one just usually passes through the 1-6-4 to avoid parallelisms. That's it. German sixth, no different than the French or the Italian sixth. But it turns out it has some unique properties, but we won't get to them for many months. But it will give you some foreshadowing and a desire to stay in theory until we can see the power of the German sixth.